Well, ladies and gentlemen, so our motion today is this: how, as a first generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country, would choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave. So first of all, I would like to say the definition from our motion today. First generation immigrant refers to an immigrant who was foreign born, has relocated and become a citizen or permanent resident in a new country. For example, at the first generation Mexican American is someone who was born in Mexico and immigrated to the United States. And ethnic enclaves. So ethnic enclaves are communities with high concentrations of one ethnic group, maintaining a strong sense of ethnic or national identity within another country. For example, they are Little India, Chinatown, or even Koreatown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so ethnic enclaves are often viewed as a negative for the integration of immigrants with natives in their new country. But it turns out that ethnic communities can help newly arrived refugees find work, according to a new Stanford study that analyzed a cohort of asylum seekers in Switzerland. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have known from the definition that actually the ethnic enclaves really help to the children, children as a first generation to get everything that actually they have to get, ladies and gentlemen. So I would like to say my arguments that actually make me believe or support to our motion, to today's motion. First is ethnic enclave will build the children's identity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so we can see that actually children need the time or need the proper time to build or development. I'm sorry, to develop their characteristic. So that's why in the first point we say that ethnic enclave will build the children's identity because we need the characteristic of children to be good, to be get behavior, to get uh, a better characteristic. So, for example, I give the example in the United States. United States, we recognize, we know that United States is an arrogant country, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why if the children in the United States move or choose to live in Chinatown, in China, so we as a opening government, we believe that China is actually a country that if we say that, namely is not arrogant or they are a good country in every aspects of life. China is the best one. So that's why if the United States, if the children in the United States they choose to live in China, they will uh, they will get the better. They will get the better life in uh, getting in improving their characteristic, because we believe that children, when they are a children, they need they need a good or a better environment, a better environment to uh, how they can see as their development, ladies and gentlemen. And then the next is about uh, I still in the first point about characteristic, and not only that, ladies and gentlemen, they also can find their own self. Like I have told you before, that actually what they see about the state or ethnic enclave that can give uh, the best the best example, that actually they can get their they can get the better find to their own self. And then about culture. So when the children, their parents choose to live in ethnic enclave, so that's why all of all of the culture in its states, in its states, they will know that we as an opening government believe that China they have a good culture. So that's why the children from another country that they choose to live in China, they will get the bad culture that makes them easily to make interact, yeah, to make interaction or interact with other people in another country. So that's why we say that the ethnic enclave really build the children's identity, ladies and gentlemen. And the next is um, this is actually good as a foundation before joining other groups of ethnic. That relates to the about the culture, and then about education, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that actually children, they should get a better education, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we say that actually children that their parents has known that in their state they will not get a better education if the situation of of the country itself really show about the bad environment, yeah, environment. So that's why they will think about the education of their children. So that's why they have to choose, they have to move to another country, ladies and gentlemen. So it makes them it makes them to make their children as to make their children to get a better education. So that's why they need a really better country or state such as ethnic enclave in China to bring their children to a better education, ladies and gentlemen. And then also in the side of economy, ladies and gentlemen, children will know how to make money or earn a living in the positive or a good path, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that actually children, they also have to know how to make money, how they can earn a living, because nowadays not we cannot we cannot just only sit or we don't make anything. So that's why we are in the opening government team believe that actually China is the best state, is the best ethnic enclave that can improve the self, oh yeah, the children own self about economy, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why those are my arguments, and it will be continued by my deputy of prime minister as a second speaker. And we are from the opening government totally agree to this motion. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the increase of immigrant population in most countries has led to rising concern about the cause of consequences of immigrant concentration, especially in a predominantly white countries such as United States of America, French, Germany, and so forth and so forth. But we, as a first generation immigrant parent, do not worry about it. We choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave because of several reasons. I will provide to you several points of our arguments as to why we choose to live and raise our children in an ethnic enclave. But before I explain my point of arguments, I would like to expand the first speaker point that says the reason why we choose ethnic enclave is because we can build children identity and raising culture. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as a parent, we want to ensure that even though we are now living in other countries, and because of that, the cultural value assimilation is, of course, unavoidable, we still want to make sure that our children do not forget about their culture, our children do not forget also about their heritage, and that our children do not forget about their religion. We don't want them to forget where they come from, who they really are. We want to pass them our knowledge about religion, cultures, and so forth and so forth that can benefit them in this life. And we want to make sure that our children will pass this knowledge as well to their children and so forth and so forth. So that why? So that we can make us together again in heaven. in our religion. And also because most of these white predominantly countries are liberalized and secular. What does that mean? It means that these countries differs between knowledge and religion, or in other words, let's be real here, they are dumping religion. We don't want our children to be like this. We don't want our children to lose their sense of cultural, to lose their sense of heritage. We don't want our children to lose all that. That is my point. That is my point of expanding the first speaker um, arguments. And now, to my own arguments, I would like to talk to you about why we choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave, especially in a white predominantly countries. Okay, number one, why we choose this ethnic enclave? Why? Because ethnic enclaves makes new refugees find work easier. Yes, our first speaker is speaking that as well, but it is not completed yet, so I want to explain more and more again. As a parent, we want to make sure our children is safe, right, economically. We want to provide all children and to ensure that they are comfortable. And in order to do that, we need to have a job. We need to work. A new Stanford study from the Immigration Policy Lab shows that refugees were more likely to find work within their first 5 years if officials assigned them to an area with larger community of people who share their nationality, ethnicity, and languages, or in other words, an ethnic enclave. This is exactly why we choose to live in an ethnic enclave rather than other places in the country, especially in a predominantly white country who often look us down just because of our languages, just because of our skin colors, just because of all that. Number two, why we choose an ethnic enclave to live and raise our children. Well, it is because the housing prices, social life, and safety of in an ethnic enclave community. Aside from economy, as a parent, we would like to ensure the safety of our children, especially in the new areas. And in order to do that, we, of course, need a house first. And since most of us immigrants come to the new country with very little money in our pockets, we do not bring much because we want to escape from our own country. We cannot afford houses in the country, in the normal location, in the country. Furthermore, we also have no contacts. Nobody knows about us in the new country, and we don't know about anybody, and nobody knows about us either. Therefore, we need a cheap houses, and ethnic enclaves fortunately offer affordable housing, safe community services that are close by, so we can watch each other, we can protect each other inside the ethnic enclave because we trust each other, and we can also establish ourselves more quickly than just making it a go at a you know other location. Inform We see that ethnic enclave as a strong safety net provided in a form of instant noodles by the community, as opposed to we preparing a homemade turkey by ourselves. We preparing our economy. We're preparing a stable life by ourselves. If we live in an ethnic enclave, it will be easier for us to stay. It will be easier for us to have a stable life, to have a stable economy, and to have a stable social life. Especially in a predominantly white country, which is, again, let's be real, they look us down. They think we are inferior to them. Most of these people. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the point of arguments that I will provide to you, that shows you why we, as a first immigration, we choose ethnic enclave to live and raise all children. And because of those arguments, we as opening government proudly propose. Thank you.